Hello, hello, hello. Good day. Happy Monday to you, everybody. My name is Sonja Marie, here with Word Life Astrology on this beautiful, beautiful Cinco de Mayo. It's May 5th, 2025. So happy to be here and assist you in the way that I do, the way that we do, my ancestors and my guides. I'm so happy to assist. Let me tell you, if you are not a regular on here, I want to let you know what it is that we do as we allow other people to fly on in and get these notifications, okay? We talk about the astrological transit charts that happen every single week when I'm here anyway. And in doing so, I want to remind you that this transit information is general information. It's not specific to your chart, not unless you resonate with it on some kind of level, and you can apply it to your life. But honestly, it's really general. Generally speaking, as I gave a great analogy last week, in which I will repeat, it's almost like going outside in the rain. We can all approach that weather in various different ways, right? Those various different ways are dependent on who you are and what's in your chart that affects the weather, that affects the general information that's happening right now. Hello to all the people that's coming in on IG and family members coming in on YouTube. I'm going to say hello to you specifically in a minute. I just wanted to clear that up real quick because, again, I think y'all should take it very, very lightly. Everything you hear on this worldwide webby thingy and wherever you get your information, really, really lightly, please. Only because it all depends on you. It depends on what's going on in your life, and nothing is gold. God speaks through you specifically, so pay most attention to that. I cannot say that enough, and I've been saying that throughout my entire career, astrological career anyway, and assisting publicly. I want y'all to get that, right? And if you'd like a specific reading, your chart, your natal chart, please hit a sister up at wordlifeastrology.com/readings, okay? Wordlifeastrology.com/readings, okay? Go to that readings page. There's two that you could choose from: a 60-minute reading, which I don't mind doing it, and I offered it up for those that don't have too much cash in their pocket or a little less cash than the 90-minute reading. But the 60-minute reading goes by just as quick as the 90-minute, to be quite honest with you. So in that 60-minute reading, we just talk astrology mainly, not unless your ancestors want to take over. And in that 90-minute reading, it's 3 parts. We talk to your ancestors and your guides because I have the ability to see them and connect with them for you. And then secondly, we go into your natal chart based on your time, your date, and your place of birth. If you happen to not have your time, a lot of people don't, because maybe their city and state didn't keep record of the time, or maybe their birth certificate was lost, in a fire, or they just never had it. That's very, very common. We can still do the reading, by the way. And then thirdly, that third level is we spread a 5-card tarot spread with my favorite deck. I was thinking about getting some more cards, but for some reason I am a Cancer true and true. When I get attached to something, I get incredibly possessive and don't want to let it go, not unless it falls apart. Yes, that is a Cancer trait. I love that y'all are all coming in here. What's up, Angelique? How you doing? Joseph is in the spot here on IG. I don't see too many other people because it gets crowded up. The names do. I think Maria is here and Surreal Serenity LLC. What it is, y'all? What's going down on this Cinco de Mayo? What up, family over on YouTube? Just Brianna is here. What's up, cutie pie? And also, that's a new name. Someday became today. Someday became today. Someday became today. I like that. That's a gosh darn song. Is that a song? Is that a poem at least? Someday became today. Ah, well, welcome, D Stokes, my girl, one of my Taurus girls out there in the world. What is your solar return, D? Please put that up. Don't let me forget. Please put that up. God, I can't forget D Stokes' birthday. What's going on to Naisia? And Sweet Tea is always here. What's up, Rabbi Rob? He is too. And our Candace. Oh, I'm so glad to read your names, your familiar names. I really, really appreciate this family and this community that we conjured up together. And as I show my appreciation and my gratitude and thanks, I must take a moment to say this. I was not expecting the waves of love. And I could feel the love, whether they were monetary or not, but I can feel the love for my son, for Kamau. But there's specific people that literally just went out of their way and hooked my baby up real quick with a couple of dollars. And it didn't matter how much you sent, 100, 20, 50. $2, it didn't really matter. I was just overwhelmed that people, like, really, and this is no drama. I really just was overwhelmed on how you cultivate a community, you cultivate a family, thinking that you're being an assistant and or sharing information, because whether you know me or not, that's really my aim. That's really my aim, is to share. And then I recognize, oh, there's no energy exchange. Hey, y'all got $1 when I ask you, right, for your support. But I really just come on here to share. But when it comes to Kamau or something that you're not expecting, and you're like, hey, here's his Cash App if y'all want to do that, because it came as casual as that last week. Hey, here's his Cash App. Folks came out and patted my baby's pockets. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Neith Sankofa. Thank you, Raisa. If I miss your name, please don't count my heart, count my brain, because I'm premenopausal. But I remember a few names sticking out where I was like, whoa, how dope is that? Thank you so much. I can't say it enough. Did I say thank you? Thank you. Thank you very, very much. And he was so overwhelmed too. He was like, Mom, do you have their numbers? I'm like, not everybody, babe, but I have a few email addresses. So he probably reached out to you. If he did not, he will be really soon. He's again just as gracious and just as appreciative in his heart, because it's challenging, trying to put people through college and then want dreams of grandeur. Actually, he already got accepted to travel over to the UK, y'all. That's some news I'm trying to hold to myself. But, I'll tell y'all in a minute once he's off flying in the sky. But this young man is doing big things. And I really appreciate y'all. And I'm not going to make this a Kamau situation, but I really appreciate y'all celebrating him, but more so celebrating the youth. That is my PSA today. If you can't celebrate Kamau and or assist him, pick a youth. Pick somebody under 25, right? And they are young, under 25, best believe it, even though they think they're grown. But pick somebody and support them, please. We need to support them. They need permission to do the things that they want to do in their hearts. And monetary gifts absolutely help, but just a sitting down talking to a young man, a young lady, I'm proud of you, that kind of thing, outside of their family, it goes a long way, y'all. Y'all remember when Miss Johnson used to say, hey there, D Stokes, I see you, girl. You looking good over there. Hey there, Candace, I heard you won that award last week. Y'all remember when strangers used to pump you up when you were shorty? So thank you for pumping my baby up. Thank you for sending out waves of love and light to him, because we can't do this without each other. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe. Let me take a sip. Just Brianna said, that's crazy you saying this, because I made FaceTime calls to my godson this weekend and my best friend's son. I just felt the urge. Yeah, just Brianna. Oh, I said maybe, didn't I? It's necessary. They need us more than they know. And that's the trip, is that they don't know, these youth downloads. They don't know, squirrel and downloads. They don't know how much they need us until they hear our voice. You know what I mean? They don't know how much is necessary to have a wall a literal wall of folks standing behind them, humans as well as the ancestors standing behind them and pushing them along, pushing their way. Yo, I know we had some back in the 80s, or else a lot of us would have been dead, died. I'm just saying. In any case, yes, I'm glad you reached out to your nephews and to the babies and all the things. It's necessary. It's necessary. Hi, Miss Catrice. How you doing? Are you proud of Kamau? I'm proud of Kamau too. And your solar return is the 8th. I will not forget that. I should write that down right now before I do forget. Catrice, May 8th. And I'll look back over here, see if D Stokes dropped hers as well. Hey, let's get on in here. But as I roll into it, I'm trying not to do too many announcements. Hello to you, Trey HU92. What's going down, homie? Fellow alum, what's happening? So let's talk about a few things. I have a residency that's happening at the Del Monte Speakeasy starting on June 1st. I've already got my set list together. The band is ready. We got rehearsals set. I'm excited more than anything. I can't even tell you. I really want to jump on stage tomorrow. Just my creative juices are flowing all through me, and it's changing me, y'all. It's changing me in the best way possible. So anyway, my residency, June 1st with Fannie Franklin, July 6th with Cody Chestnut, and to be announced August 10th. I still haven't decided who's going to play with me then. I'm hoping my sister Naila can jump on stage with me. If not, we're going to have to curate something really, really special without her. But the bottom line is I want y'all to come out and see a sister if you're in LA. One of those performances per D Stokes request will be live streamed, in which you can pay a little monetary fee. I'm not going to make it too high, y'all. And y'all can sit in the comforts of your own house somewhere in Toledo, somewhere in the Midwest, Oklahoma, and watch a sister. You know what I mean? That would be fun, right? So one of those shows I absolutely am going to make a live stream. If you're in LA, on the 14th of May, I'm going back home is what I'm talking about. There's an awesome poetry spot there that I was raised in, absolutely, called the World Stage. Per V. Kali, Sequoia, God bless your sweet soul, Kamau Dao. Oh my gosh. And a lot of us who are on my generational level, as far as Ruth. Good. Why did I just forget Ruth's last name? Oh, Sonja. Yeah, menopause is real. Ruth, and Yesha, Kim Benjamin, I remember her last name, and so much more of us. I'm not going to embarrass myself any further. But the bottom line is that we were all born and raised as poets, as writers, as visionaries, as daughters, today being mamas and grandmamas. So it's a beautiful spot to come to. It's very, very homey, in the sense that is in Leimert Park, and it feels really good. So if you're in town on May 14th, I'm just going to do poetry, no music, just poetry, reading about 6, 7, maybe 10 pieces of work, because I'm featured, and it starts at 7 o'clock. Come, the donation is $10, and I would love to see you, give you a sweet little hug. Alrighty. Any more announcements before I get going? I don't think so, but if there are, I'll, use it as a commercial and jump on in here. Hey, if you are not used to this situation here, you have not been here, hello and welcome. Also, if you have any questions about what's being said, what's being asked of you, or whatever the case may be, please put a whole bunch of question marks behind your sentence so I can see the question. Otherwise, they'll probably go right on by me, because I cannot read this close with them little ass letters. So y'all let me know, okay, by putting all them exclamation points and question marks behind it. I am trying to think if I have anything else to say, but we're going to keep it going. If you're returning, thank you. Please share this information on the way out of YouTube. Hit that like button. It always keeps that algorithm going, and it allows, YouTube to pay me another 5 cents. I'd appreciate that. Every nickel counts. All right, y'all. As the Cancer that I am, I'm a crab walk on back to the side, to the left and to the right. and talk about what happened last week, what happened yesterday, so we can move forward. It is imperative. I cannot tell you in studying astrology, if you like to study astrology, or at the very least, challenge your intellect. Stretch your intuition by knowing what's going on around you in the sky, by knowing what just happened. Because why? The universe works, as we all know, in a rhythm. The universe works in a rhythm. That's why music is so gosh darn important. Music is like the barometer to our soul, you dig? If we don't have rhythm, we die. If we don't have rhythm, we turn into stone and we just stay stuck in the middle of the street. Can you imagine if all music stopped in the ethers and we just froze like, where's the next beat? Because the heart got the beat, the feet got the beat, the snaps got the beat. We all in the beat. So the bottom line is like, we need that rhythm. We need the universe to continue to speak to us in waves. And I love teaching astrology because it helps me to stay out of my own ego. And I'm going to talk about ego and Sonja's ego in a little while. But it helps me to stay out of my ego. It helps us to stay out of our feelings. It helps us to be really, really single pointed on what's important as opposed to the human stuff that can kind of get in the way. When I do readings, I always say, or I should say, this is my mantra, is that astrology is nothing but our personality makeup. Okay, it's not God. It's not necessarily our true soul and fingerprinted spirit in a sense. But here's the deal: astrology, the personality and how we can decipher it, helps us to administer our soul's journey. Does that make sense? So if we know the energy that's going on around us, if we know the music that's playing, if we know the rhythm that's bebopping and doing its thing and saying what it is that it needs to say, then our soul can grab a hold of whatever rhythm that's happening in order to administer what we need to do just on that day. Maybe just within that hour, but absolutely throughout our journey, throughout our trek. Does that make sense, everybody? Everybody give me a yes, yes, y'all, 3 Ys, just to let me know, to confirm that you hear my voice and that makes sense to you. Otherwise, I mean, you can sit back and do what you need to do. If you drive, and please don't crash. All right. Okay, so let's get started. Let's move back a little bit. I came on this World Wide Webby thing last week. I think it was on a Wednesday or a Thursday. I think it was a Thursday because last week was gnarly. Now, if you don't remember, last week I started the weekly rundown by saying, I'm not going to add all the aspects. I'm not telling y'all all the things that's going on because when I do, these weekly rundowns end up being 2, 4, 5, 6 hours. Not really, but it kind of does at least 2 hours sometimes. And I'm like, ooh, Sonja, that's too much for people to swallow. You should probably make it shorter. Okay, an hour 15. But the bottom line is I shortened it last week and I missed some important steps because folks was like, I thought Wednesday was supposed to be happy with Jupiter and the moon getting together, showing all these opportunities. Well, it was. And if you think about it, you probably did have an opportunity or two, or a little chuckle, a good time, something positive that came through. But you know what was superseding all of that, especially in the eyes of human beings, which we sometimes gravitate towards the pain faster than we do the celebration. Well, Chiron was up in the mix last week, y'all. Again, I'm not going to go into it deeply, but if you want to hear my like on the cuff kind of rundown, go back to my page on Instagram. Or you see me standing there in front of my astrology poster that was so lovingly given to me. That's a whole nother story for another day. But I'm standing there telling y'all real time what is going down in the ethers. Chiron set it up. Chiron set it up so crazy last week where we were like, wait, hold on. I thought I went through that shit already. Wait, hold on. Why are my wounds coming out from my gut, through my esophagus, on my lips? And when I want to say I love you, I want to say fuck you. When I want to say I'll take that job, I want to say I don't want to do that any longer. Like, why are these wounds, these things grabbing me in a way in which I can't handle my responses and I can't handle my emotions? But at the same time, quite cleverly, Chiron was allowing us to think clearly. At least from what I've heard. Y'all tell me, give some feedback, speak among yourselves. Like, speak clearly in the way where we can detach ourselves and be like, oh my gosh, that's that thing again. That's that molestation thing that keeps coming up for me. That's that bullying that keeps coming up for me. That's that mean girl shit that comes in people that irks me, that triggers me. Ooh, I get triggered by mean girls. I can't stand mean girls, specifically mean girls, because there's no real reason why you should be mean. And I'm saying that emphatically. Anyway, that's my trigger, which I'm going to get over soon enough. The bottom line is that these wounds, Chiron, Chiron, look it up when you get a chance if you're a student. Chiron is just one of those things that trigger the things in which we held on to when we were shorties, y'all. The things that bothered us and kind of solidified inside of us like leeches burrowing in our skin. And we held on to those wounds for so long, and we buried them, we smoked them away, we fucked them away, we distracted them away, we worked out and became the A athlete awayed. We did all the things to keep those wounds tucked back, far away. So much so that at 55 years old, 45 years old, they keep creeping up. Can't, trying to grab you. That's my grabbing sound. can't, trying to grab you. Am I the only one that felt that thing? I see nobody commenting on that but me and Rabbi Rob and Arcandis and D Stokes. I mean, was it just me? I mean, I could take it, but it was a general aspect in the sky. That's for ding dong damn sure. Chiron was hitting up against, did I write it down here to be more specific? I said I wasn't going to go too far into it. Bust this. Chiron was sextiling the moon, which made us feel a little crazy for being able to look at this gosh darn wound. But the North Node was being squared. Our purpose. Should I go this way with this wound on my back? Nah, you shouldn't. You should just examine it. Because as we examined it last week, as we examined it and it came up for us, and again, if it doesn't resonate with you and this is not what happened for you, check the people that are around you, because we are one and they still affect you in some type of way. But this is the culprit. This is the catch. This is the rhythm, the beat. Okay, is that Chiron kicked off to allow you to see those buried wounds that still want to come up and show its head until you heal from it. That's Chiron's purpose. It's called the wounded healer. You see your wounds, you identify your wounds, and then you quietly, loudly, however you need to do, you get rid of it. You get over it so you can teach somebody else, so you can share those lessons with somebody else. Those wounds come up, but on Sunday, the day before us that just happening right now, Pluto went retrograde. You think that was a coinky dink? Hell, motherfucking no. Why? Because the wounds, Chiron comes up to show us our pain, and then Pluto going backwards. Pluto, power, depth of a situation. Transformation allows us to swoop and sit right on in that thing. Good God Almighty. It's like the first time, maybe if you've ever done this, where you sit at the edge of a mud bath and you say to yourself, why the hell did I let my best friend, my husband, my wife, whoever else, this lady sitting there telling me how dope these minerals are, why did I let them talk me into sitting into this mud? That's Pluto going retrograde now until October 13th. Y'all don't hear me? Is this thing still on? Hello? Y'all all right out there? Talk to me. Just want to make sure I'm being heard. Till what? October 13th. So as we sit in this mud, which is absolutely full of nutrients, which is absolutely filled. Thank you for the hearts. Somebody let me know y'all alive, because sometimes I don't know the technology too. So I appreciate you. You don't have to answer to everything I say. Y'all already know. But sometimes I just don't know if it's working. Thank you, D Stokes. So again, you're sitting there looking at this mud thing with all these nutrients. Again, it's absolutely beneficial. Y'all know it's beneficial. Everything of the earth is beneficial. Everything going deep is beneficial. But people and situations and personality, like I said at the top of this thing, personalities, certain personalities, superficial gains as opposed to what's in your soul. Our personalities sometimes don't have the time, the propensity, the capacity, the wherewithal, even the care or the interest to go deep certain times of our lives. So it proposes itself as some inconvenience. Does that make sense? So here comes Pluto going backwards again, saying, yo, I need y'all to sit in that mud for a quick second. Pluto, dude, come on. Haven't we been doing this? Wasn't COVID this? Wasn't this dude getting back in office this? Wasn't my man leaving me this? Wasn't the fact I got $20 in the bank this? Wasn't the fact that my child just left and I'm home alone now by myself? What wasn't we sitting in it? Nah. Not the way we need to now with Pluto going retrograde. Y'all hearing me? Or y'all want to hear some more? Pluto going retrograde says not only are you going to sit in the depths, you have to make friends with the depths. Not only are you going to sit in the depth, you have to regenerate yourself while you're in there. You have to see yourself. You have to see the mirrors. You have to, every place is a mirror. When you sitting in Pluto retrograde, I mean, you may think that you're coming off superficially, that you're being nice and polite and, I'm just going to do my job and stay on the surface of things and, and be charming and delightful while your shit is coming up and you sweating and you got pimples on your forehead, you looking crazy. That's Pluto coming up on your face. Y'all not hearing me. Y'all really not hearing me because maybe you heard this in another way, or maybe you've been doing it already, or maybe I said it. Maybe you said it to yourself, but there's still things that are buried per Chiron's request. Remember, we started from that. Chiron's burials started at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. Those wounds initiated then. Pluto's trying to get to them goddamn pimples on your booty, y'all. To the pimples you can't reach, y'all. Them things that made you the mean girl. Those things that made you too bossy. Those things that made you have high expectations. Squirrel, but not, because I told y'all I was going to talk about me. You know what my thing was, y'all, and I'm being really, really transparent. Since y'all not talking, I'ma talk and tell you my shit. Now, you can judge me if you want to. I don't give a hell. But look in the mirror and judge yourself before you judge somebody else. I have high expectations, so much so that I almost always get jabbed. 85% of the time, I get checked, chin checked. It's my fault. I have expectations that people are the friend like I am. I have expectation that people value time and money the way that I do. I have expectations for people to care about my house when they come in their house and maybe they were raised in a different situation, but they put their feet up on my counter or they put their cat on my fucking kitchen counter or something. That never happened, y'all, but I'm just telling you outlandish things in order for you to see how my expectations have got me into trouble because for me, right? The Leo energy that's on me, although I am a Cancer sun, has those expectations that have buried and or caked, excuse me for burping, have calcified my wounds. Can anybody attest to this? Maybe not the expectation part, but anything that's so deeply buried in you that you don't even recognize it when it comes up because you think it's part of your character. So I said for years, well, nobody is a friend like me. They should do what I do. I want somebody to ride like me. I want somebody to be devoted and loyal like me. I want somebody to be a bully and push me and be encouraging like I do. But here's the thing, Sonja, you still gonna get your feelings hurt because not everybody is a friend like you. Not everybody is you. Do y'all see what I'm talking about? What Pluto is asking us to do? Do y'all see how we need to sit in the things that we absolutely think is our thing? Everybody should blow their nose when they got boogers on the edge of their nose. I'm thinking about landish shit for a reason. for obvious reasons, but think about the things that come up for you. Hello, everybody. Think about the things that come up for you, what makes you cringe. But if you had a second thought, maybe you have some compassion and go, maybe that's just them. Maybe they grew up in a barn. Maybe they didn't have good friends. Maybe they never ever understood what a friend was because people never showed them loyalty. Does this make sense? The deep burial that we're doing per this Pluto going retrograde until October 13th, y'all better get down on it, man. Not enough of y'all are talking to me today, but I'm all right. See, that's part of my bullying and expectations. You get that? I'm outing myself. You know why? Because I think it's necessary that we all do that in some kind of way, in safe spaces. Prayerfully, this is one for me, but in safe spaces that we out ourselves and show ourselves what type of personality challenges and changes we need to do. Raisa, thank you for KAMAU'S donation. Raisa just said it though, in order to be whole. So many people, these downloads are coming in, y'all. I hope y'all got a minute. But so many people would rather be 3/4. Okay, maybe 6/8. So many people would rather just get part of themselves, a nice little chunk of themselves together. To say, I earned my B. It's okay if I get a B in this life. It's okay if I get a C in this life. I'm not going to do everything. I'm just going to be like my grandmother, a mean old bitch. I'm just going to be like my grandfather, a hard-working son of a gun, and I'm going to die with my boots on my feet. I'm just going to be whatever it is I'm going to be because I'm too old to change. Or this is just who I am because I like the power that I have being this weird personality. Are y'all hearing me? I need you to put the mirror up. It's time. It's beyond time that we begin to check ourselves and go into these depths of regeneration from the inside, the total inside, from the umbilical cord. I just felt that in my belly button, from that solar plexus center. Not the little bullshit that you think you need to change and lose 20 pounds and change up your house, and speak kindly to your neighbors. Those are all important in their own way. But what are the deep things that you need to change? Yo, if you don't see it, Pluto will pull it out for you. Do you want to be embarrassed in the middle of Whole Foods while you're crying in the middle of the aisle and shit, or wherever you shop? Because Pluto done showed you at 12:56 p.m. in the middle of the day, and now you laid on out, bawling your eyes out. I'm just saying, call yourself on it before that happens. Y'all hearing me? Come on now, we ain't got time. We don't have time, and I tell you why. I did this wonderful, wonderful event last. Hey, Dion, I did this wonderful event yesterday, and what came through as I was hosting this event. Thank you, Empress, and that Be Elevated event that happened yesterday. It was so awesome. But what I was really honing in on is the fact that I'm trying to use my words properly, y'all, without sounding too harsh. We throw these buzzwords out: community and unity and coming together and healing and all of these things. And I'm actually wondering how much you actually heal and believe in community and unity without the guise and the superficiality of your personality. I'm really, really wondering that. Because at the end of the day, what's gonna be said 20 years from now, 15 years from now, is how we developed this moment that we have right now. Our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will say, what did you do in 2025 when the age of Aquarius was really turning around? What did you do to stand up to yourself, to change your habits, to change your goals and your aims? What did you do to keep us alive, to ensure that the planet was healthy, so we're not living in plastic bubbles for oxygen? What did you do to fight the good fight and be the rebellious soul that you came on the planet to do? Because that's why we're alive right now. not to just go to the Kentucky Derby, not to just go see Beyonce and all of her glamorousness. Love Beyonce and what she puts out on the world, but chick is not important when it comes to changing what's deeply being observed and put out on the table right now. Do y'all agree? Or is this too early for a Monday? What's happening? They're going to say, what did you do? We are in this moment of building a foundation for this new age, for this new way of being, in order for a home, a whole building, a whole age, a whole generation to be built on. We're rewriting the Constitution, our own personal Constitution. We're rewriting what it is to be a community, our own community that we want to stand by, that we want to be alive in. We have that chance. We have that option. We have the option to drown in it too, to smoke it away too, to drink it and eat it away, to fuck it away too, to be distracted and work so hard that you want to be a millionaire so you get all the money and put your middle fingers up to everybody. We have that option too. But to be quite honest with you, will there be generations of families that be able to live off of that? It's your responsibility. That's why you're here. That's why you got to look into what Pluto is talking about, because it starts from you, boo-boo. You can't do shit if you don't see yourself truly and truthfully. So Pluto said, let's go. And okay, I'm answering my own question. As we start this weekly rundown off today, Monday, Cinco de Mayo, the moon is in Leo. That moon is going to go into Virgo at 3:40 p.m. Actually, right now, check that shit out. The moon just went into Virgo. That's so sweet. Switch up. Now, what's so interesting about that, though, before this minute, this literal minute, because it's 12:41 on the Pacific coast, 3:41 on the East Coast, when the moon went into Virgo, right? But 2 minutes ago, when that moon was in Leo, as we still feel that vibration, again, I answered my own question, like, where's everybody at? Because don't nobody want to make the change. At least that's the feeling in the sky. That's the energy happening. What's happening? The moon in Leo, in which it was 2-3 minutes ago, was squaring up Uranus. Expectations go against the change and the innovation. I mean, Sonja, I hear you. There's at least 5 people going, she's saying that shit again? On how deep we need to go? Where we, how we need to expose ourselves? I'm tired of exposing myself. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to walk around. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. See when she get to the next subject. I know how y'all do, because I do it too. It's all good in the hood, baby. But here's the deal. The real deal is you got to answer to your goddamn self. And the real deal is that the rhythm is still rhythm in the sky. So that moon squaring up against Uranus, we still feeling that you have expectations about how your life should go in this moment in time, about how much money you should have, about your pride and your ego, about the rewards that you need, that you want, that you work so hard for. You're like, I want it to go that way. And Uranus is like, nah, we got to go this way because the change is happening this way. Forget your ego. By the way, Squirrel, I needed to have this little education moment. Please put some hearts up, some whys up for any astrology students out there, so I know who I'm talking to. Anybody that want to learn you something. I hope y'all got some time, because this at least is going to be an hour. I'm putting in some work today because I'm grateful. I'm really, really grateful to be able to share this information. I'm really, really grateful that I have a few people that want to listen and are willing to listen and that donate and share back the energy with me. Thank you. Milana said, yes, she wants to be a student today. So let's rock. We're going to do it for you, Milana. All right, Anjay. All right, let's go. Let's go, Arcandis. All the fixed signs in the zodiac. That's Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and what's the last one, D Stokes? Taurus. All the 4 fixed signs. And they sound like just like they are. Fixed, regimented, solidified, in their shit. Solid, right? They are also incredibly arrogant, and they all have high expectations about something within their element. Aquarius is very arrogant when it comes and has high expectations when it comes to people and their intellect. They think people should be smart as them. And if they're not, they instantly consider them dumbasses. Maybe not out loud, but in their mind, they'll be like, did they really say that? How stupid are they? Scorpios have a high expectation and are solidified and fixed in their emotions. When you do not respect Scorpio energy and you do not, well, I should say this, when Scorpio has the expectations of emotional information, you should feel as deep as I feel. They don't consider you worthy of speaking to them or giving your information, giving them, their information. They won't share with you. That's rooted. That's arrogance. That's expectation. Are y'all following me? Does this make sense? Is this good information, or I'll stop? Leo has high expectations. Absolutely. Just outed myself and explained to you why. Because Leo is fire. Leo goes hard. And his expectation is that everybody should burn and be just as devoted and loyal as them. All of these expectations and arrogance, levels of arrogance, are absolutely setting you up for a downfall. It's a learning lesson is what I'm teaching right now for all of those fixed positions, right? And then lastly, what I say, Taurus. Did I say Taurus? No, I said Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus. Taurus is arrogant and has high expectations about people and their practicality. Their expectation is, why are you moving so fast? You moving so fast. If you're moving fast, then you're not taking care. Their arrogance is like, you're not taking care if it's done real quickly. Their arrogance is nothing can build solidly that has any kind of worth and value if you're moving too quickly, or if you're using, I don't know, polyester or something, or you're using some materials that are not going to last. Excuse me for the burp, y'all. I'm not disgusting. It's just the tea keeps coming back up. Do y'all see the semblance in that? Did y'all get that lesson? Now, here's the catch. There's a few people out there like, I'm Gemini. She ain't talking about me. I'm Cancer. She ain't talking about me. I'm a Pisces. She damn sure ain't talking about me. Well, here's the thing. I am talking about you, especially if you get a reading with your girl. Wordlifeastrology.com/readings. Here is the real reason, because we all have 12 signs in our chart. So those energies show up in your life some kind of way. If it's with your children, if it's at work, if it's with your baby, meaning your spouse or your partner. You understand what I'm saying? If it's with your friends, those energies are going to come up somewhere in your life. So it's absolutely you, boo-boo, regardless if it's your sun sign or not. Are y'all vibing me? Y'all understand this? This is something to know. This is something to really catch a hold of. And again, as we're talking about today, because I'm that square up against that expectation that I don't have to change, that thing like I've been changing enough is coming up for us today. There's a standoff. Like, why, Sonja? Why? Why do I have to out myself again? Why do I have to look in the mirror again? That's a great exercise that I've given to the village and a couple of workshops that I've had for show. Look yourself in the eyeballs in the mirror. They hate when I give them that assignment, by the way, because it's not an easy assignment. Literally, just stand and look in your eyeballs and see how far you get before you get uncomfortable to see the real you, before you get really, really uncomfortable. Check it out. And if you've done it, put it in the comments and talk to me about that thing. I'll go back and forth with you. Let's keep it going, because I got way too much to say. And I feel it's a lot. I said a nice prayer before this. And I just feel it's a lot of words to get on out. Today, Mercury is sextile in Jupiter, the plan, some correspondence, communication brings opportunity and positivity. Did you get that email? Did you win the lotto? Can I have $1? Did you get a promising phone call? Did you get a text that say, you know what? You are the runner-up for this particular job. Did you get a call back to all my actor friends out there? Today, Mercury being correspondence and communication is sitting right nice with Jupiter. That means that something's going to be said, heard, or written that can bring some opportunities to you. And I really hope it lightens your day. I really hope it gives you a moment to sit and celebrate, because as we sit in the mud, remember where we are. Pluto going retrograde until October 13th. As we sit in the mud, it's absolutely necessary for us to grab a hold of these small but mighty celebratory moments. Do you agree? Somebody has a question over here. D Stokes. So if someone has fixed top 3, does that mean they are arrogant in all of those areas? And does it make it harder? Yeah. Yeah, it does mean that they are arrogant in all of those areas. Can it make it harder for them to grow through those arrogances? Sure. But I want y'all to remember this too. And this is how I teach, and this is what I believe more than anything, is that there's upsides. And D, you know this. There's upsides, positive things, and there's, underbelly shit, negative things. And arrogance and the expectations I consider like an underbelly thing in which we need to grow through. We have both. So when I say that, I say that to the sense that, yeah, there's some underbelly shit, but there's absolutely some positive things about those 3 fixed positions that can help you push through that, is the point. It's not doomsday. Fuck it, I'm just gonna be an arrogant motherfucker. Nah, I wouldn't say that. I would say, if you care, if you want to have a fruitful life, if you want to be open and be your best, highest self in this particular walk, you'll figure out a way in which to combat those arrogance things about you. Does that make sense? D, did that make sense? Hello to everybody rolling on in. I hope you stay a while because we got a lot to talk about. So also today, towards the end of the day, there's 3 major quincunxes that's happening. The moon, quincunx, by the way, means it's 150 degrees from the sky from each other, but also it's irritation. So there's irritation around these 3 placements. The moon is quincunx in Neptune, the moon is quincunx in Venus, and the moon is quincunx in Pluto going retrograde. That means irritation due to not being clear about your value or your worth or where your next dollar is coming from, that takes away your power and your ability to transform. That's a mouthful. I'm going to say it again because I know I fall in that category. I'm irritated as hell on some level because my value is not meeting up with what's in my bank account right now in this moment in time. It won't last for long. So how's that for you? Let me read it again. Irritation due to not being clear about your value and or your worth or money situation that takes you away from your power, feeling powerful or feeling like you can transform, feeling like you can do, feeling like, okay, if I just had $1,000, God, I can get this merch. If I just had $5,000, God, I can do this video and make this thing pop. If I had $10,000, God, like, come on, you taking away from my power. That's today, y'all. You're taking away my ability to shine, to transform. There's some confusion around that. And it's necessary. How, why, how? I mean, about my own situation, I can't even tell you what the delay is. But I will tell you this much. At the very least, I'm being honest about this, and it may sound airy-fairy, but at the very least, I'm getting stronger in it. At the very least, it's strengthening and sharpening my faith, knowing damn well God is going to rescue me in some kind of way. You know why? I do good work. You know why? I'm a really, really good person. And that's what I know about me. What do you know about you that can help you to push away this fog and this irritation that's happening today in a strong way, as we don't want to change with that Uranus shit? Like, what's really happening? I can't change if I don't have the money. I can't do the things that I want to do. And you become even more arrogant because the irritation is growing up on your back. Does that make sense? So yeah, the fix wants to come because you don't know what the frick is going on. Right, Kimberly? Come on, think about this. So again, this is personality, this is energy, this is rhythm, this is music that goes within us, without us, that shows us the way. It's only meant for us to look at it, digest it, understand it, work through it, and move on. Not hold on to it and get in a hole, y'all, and get into depression, y'all. Nah, 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 nah. What the fuck is wrong with you, Sonja? Nah, 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 nah. Nah, we're not supposed to go down that route. We got to look at it. We got to be a little bit more emotionally mature and secure with who we are. I'm not saying crying is not good. Y'all can call me and cry any gosh damn time. I love to cry. But we going to cry with a goddamn agenda out this motherfucker. I'm sorry I'm cursing so much today, y'all. I just feel it. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm about to go to the East Coast. I'm getting prepared. You get it? You get it? Sometimes you just got to cry through the thing, but we got to cry with an agenda. Not just sitting there just... Cry with a piece of paper and a pen in your hand. Let's go. Tuesday, tomorrow. Y'all have any questions about today? Echo. Tomorrow, the moon will be in Virgo. The moon in Virgo is always a tricky situation, y'all. And if you are born with a moon in Virgo, God bless your sweet soul. That's all I want to say. It's not the best position. It ain't the worst. None of them are really worse. But moon in Virgo helps at work. So tomorrow, if you're at work and we need to feel clear, astute, precise about executing through emotions, through anybody else's anger, arrogance, upsetness, jealousy, any of the emotions that you can think of. Moon in Virgo helps us to do that quite easily, I might add, because it has a way of separating the oil from the vinegar. You dig? It has a way of separating what's down in the dumps, emotional feeling, and what's logical, what needs to be done through the tears. That's what the moon in Virgo is. But it's really, really tricky when it comes to personal situations. So whenever the moon is in Virgo in the sky, and if you have the moon in Virgo in your natal chart, you got to be able to separate your emotional wherewithal with how you work in the outside world and how you work with your personal relationships. Because in personal relationships, the moon in Virgo makes you seem a little stoic. That's not the right word. Makes you seem a little logical about your emotions. It's almost like you want to predict emotions. And that's an oxymoron coming through my teeth right now. You cannot predict emotions. It just don't roll like that. It's water. It flows. It goes where it wants to go, especially depending on what's going on in the outside forces, you dig? So moon in Virgo tomorrow and Wednesday, there's a way in which we can stay in order in how we need to be. But absolutely, when it comes to personal relationships, you may want to tell your baby today's not the affectionate kind of day. I can hear you, but I'm going to try to fix you. That's what that moon in Virgo is all about. But tomorrow is one aspect I want to highlight. Venus, the planet of love and value, worth, money, beauty, possessions, personal possessions. Venus, I like Venus. It's Taurus's and Libra's planet. Venus is sextiling Pluto going retrograde. You say, but sextiling is a good thing. So here we go in the mud. What you doing in that mud? Are you putting it on your face? Are you trying to get the bags from underneath your eyes? Are you putting it all over your hair and having a good time? Right? So because here we go with Venus. Remember, we're using that Pluto retrograde as the mud situation. If you're coming in late, you got to check the beginning of this video. Venus is sextiling, sitting right nice with Pluto. Here's what I wrote. We find value in reevaluating our power and or the persuasion you think you should have. Reevaluating your power. Reevaluating your power. How powerful you think you are. I'm laughing because ain't it funny? When you think that you're so powerful, when you think you're so clever, when you think you just got it right, and then here come the rug. When you think you're the smartest one in the class and somebody goes, I know that answer, I know that answer, I know that answer. And you're like, who was this cat? How did they come in the classroom? Who let them? I was the top student. When you thought that you was dope in your job and you was making all the money, when you thought you was the beautiful one, when you thought it was between you and another girl and actually that other girl won the other guy's heart out, when you got a little arrogant about this depth in which you need to sit in, you was like, I don't see the value in that. I don't see the power in that. I suggest you do. I suggest you do. Please and very please, tomorrow, see the value in sitting in this mud, okay? Please do that for yourself. It's necessary. Again, it can allow us to come out with clear skin if we put those intentions on it. Now, this may not speak well, this analogy, this mud analogy may not do too well for folks that never sat in mud. I mean, it's absolutely purifying. But on the onset and in its description, it sounds disgusting as fuck, especially if you're naked, getting it all up your butt. But the bottom line is once you come out and you rinse your body off, once you really sit in it with intentions and know exactly what it's doing, like tomorrow, Venus sextile and Pluto retro, when you really sit in the thing, you can say, okay, hold on. That pimple did go away. It was there for about 2 months and now it's gone. I wonder what happened. You know what happened. You sat in the mud and you paid attention and you looked in the mirror and you stared. You understand? And you saw yourself. Shut up, Sankofa. You came in late. He said, what? The power in your butt? What's in my butt? You got to catch them beforehand. Does this make sense to anybody, everybody? Sweet Tea said, I appreciate the way you explain the fixed signs. Thank you, baby love. I realized a few years ago to stop expecting anything from anyone and accept that it's just how they are, etc., etc. Everyone wasn't raised like me. Girl, I hope you're a girl. I think you're a girl. Look, I'm still getting that. Obviously, per my, gosh darn, what do you call it? Per my confession, being usher in this motherfucker, I have way too much expectation. And I mean, I get it easily. Leo rising, Leo moon, Leo Venus. I can't dodge it sometimes. But I'm working on that, sweetie. I'm working on that. And you're right. You're right. I can feel the energy swelling up. And you're welcome, by the way. I can feel the energy swelling up in my body when it gets to that. And I go, Sonja, not everybody's like you. Not that, just deal with them how they are. Just deal with them how they are. And I try to keep on walking away. Anyway, y'all. So Wednesday comes and the moon is in Virgo. What kind of week is going on? You know, I entitled this week, what I put on here? Sitting in the belly of the beast, eating popcorn. That's the title of this weekly rundown, by the way. Sitting in the belly of the beast, eating popcorn. Yeah. Because, I mean, we got to make it an entertaining situation out this mug. To be truthful with you, we got to get something out of it. We got to turn it around, the perspective that is, as opposed to sitting in the mud and sitting in the belly of the beast and feeling all sorry for yourself because, I lost this and I don't have this. Come on now, we ain't got time for that. I'm not saying don't cry. I'm saying don't sit and waddle. Where's the lesson? So Wednesday, the moon is in Virgo, like I said, but hey. It's going to square up against Jupiter. So now we don't see the blessings. Questioning our recent blessings because the details are not adding up. No such thing as perfection, y'all. Let me say that again. Excuse me for burping. When that moon in Virgo is squaring up against Jupiter and Gemini on Wednesday, there's a possibility that you or people around you, like I said, we're all one, we're going to feel it some kind of way. You or somebody around you is acting like a brat to the point where you feeling emotional that wait. I've been doing these things precisely. I've been doing these things in order. I've been taking my vitamins. I've been walking. I've been swimming. I've been working out. I've been following the rules. And where's the blessings? Where's my rewards? Where's my opportunity? Where's the positivity out of the thing? Again, we don't control this thing, y'all. We don't control this thing. And sometimes if we allow the moon, this is real reason why I tell y'all about this moon situation, the fleeting moon, the emotions to override anything that's going on, we're walking down a human path. We do it. I'm not saying we don't do it. We all do it. But we have to pay attention to how it's leading us. And in that way, we have a decision whether we're going to allow it to lead us or we're going to grab power within ourselves through our breath, being patient, reassessing it in real time. And I'm asking you on Wednesday, earlier part of the day, reassess any thoughts that come up that says, I don't want that blessing. It don't look the way I want it to look. I didn't work for that. Why are you offering me that? I'm going to wait until God sends me something else. I didn't think he would come in that size and that color. Talk about myself, obviously, because I'm giggling. I feel like sometimes my husband, whoever he's going to be, he's probably going to look like somebody I never even thought he was going to look like. That's why I'm giggling, because that's that same type of situation. We don't control the blessings that come in. You ask for a certain thing and then you want to control how the shit rolls. Come on, y'all. Arrogance. That human arrogance, cuz I'm saying, catch yourself while you in this mud with that fixed energy. And by the way, you do know Pluto is in Aquarius, a fixed sign, going retro. So it don't want to come up off of these things, off of these realizations. We don't. You dig? Because it's affecting us. We don't want to come up off of these realizations, these personal things that look too exposing. God, Sonja, what else do I have to show? Show it all. Show every last bit of it. That's the only way, Raisa, we're going to get to wholeness. Show it all. When we want to select the things, compartmentalize the things that we're showing and not showing. And when I mean showing, I mean like really being available and open-hearted. I'm not saying walk around with a megaphone telling everybody your problems. I'm saying just own up to the shit. Just show it. Be like, yep, that's what I did. I'm working on that. Please forgive me for that. I'm about to go down a rabbit hole, y'all, but I think we need to keep it pushing. I hope this is hitting you. I hope this is resonating with you some kind of way, because I want the knife. You remember that? And the golden child. Please. Okay. Anyway, on Wednesday, the moon is also, like I said, in Virgo, it's also going to quincunx Mercury. So while we feeling like, oh, that ain't my blessing, I don't know about that. It's not detailed enough. I didn't order it in that color. Our brains can be a little confused. Mercury's communication, our brain energy, right? How we speak, how we read, how we listen, how we write, construct emails, travel even. That's Mercury as well, right? It's going to get a little confusing, probably based on the fact that, again, I didn't order that color. I'm not controlling how my blessings are coming. Hey. Patience with yourself and others, as the brain can be muddled today, which is Wednesday. Patience with yourself. Patience. Let the cloud pass. Sit in it. Observe it. At the very least, and here's the practicing, y'all. At the very least, observe it for yourself so you can go, oh, that's that muddled feel. That's that muddled feel. Okay, I'm not going to make any decisions right now. Okay, I'm not going to say too much right now. Listen, you know what I learned? I have a new habit. When I want to hold back the shit that I want to say for good reason, because not everybody's ready for what Sonja needs to say. Trust me when I tell you that. Somebody will ask me, I'm going to say, I said this yesterday, I'm just going to mind my business. Well, Sonja, what you think? You don't want to know what I think. I'm going to mind my business and let that situation play out on its own. And they laugh like I'm being funny, and I'm dead ass serious. dead ass serious. Okay, so the problem is, the situation is, what's your practice? What's going to help you through these muddled feelings? What's going to help you through these feelings of uncertainty? What's going to help you when you go, I don't have a clear idea on that, so I'm just going to be quiet. I'll get back to you tomorrow. or ignore a text real quick and say, I'll talk to you tomorrow. That can be your answer. You understand what I'm saying? What's your practice when you know you're not feeling all the way clear in your mind? How are you going to respond to people until you are, without proving yourself in the muddled feeling, without being powerful, without using your ego and your arrogance just to have an answer, have a solution for whatever's available in that moment? Does this make sense? Are y'all getting this? Also on Wednesday, here comes this moon with Uranus again, but in an agreeable space. Whereas in today, Moon and Uranus are squaring because we don't want to change. We're feeling kind of arrogant, stuck in our thing. Wednesday, it opens up a little bit. Why? Because the moon goes into Virgo, and Virgo likes Uranus in Taurus, two earth signs. So agree once again to the change. It's a back and forth movement for sure, but we have to realize that it's happening for real. Okay, I think when I wrote that and when Spirit put that through me, it's like when we go back and forth, when we decide, we undecide. When we say yes and then we question ourselves. When we give the money and then go, gosh darn it, I could have used that money for something else. When we tell our sons and daughters to fly the world and have a great life, and then you sitting home in your bed crying, eating goddamn chocolate chip cookies because you miss them and you feel like a loner. When we go back and forth in these changes that need to happen, that in itself is necessary. Do you not see that? Do y'all not see that? Tell me if you disagree, because we can go back and forth for a quick second. In my opinion, it's absolutely necessary to go back and forth. Although it's tiring, it's exhausting. It's goddamn like, oh my God, can we just like decide it already and move forward? Sometimes it's not enough, especially with Uranus, because Uranus is so solid, even though it's a scattered kind of energy in itself. It's a far away planet. So when it decides to do something, it's gonna do it for the long haul till you die. So the thing is, to this back and forth is allowing us to solidify in these decisions and these changes that are happening for us to feel comfortable about the walk that we are about to commit to. It's necessary. Fall in love with the music, y'all. Fall in love with the rhythm, y'all. It's not here to go against you. You're not a victim. You're not a slave to this rhythm. You are a participant. You add the joint too. You got your triangle over in the corner if you don't know how to play keys. You got a you got a little harmony in the corner on a little bit of the riff. You got a little jig, your booty is moving. You got something to add to the musical orchestration of what's happening in this rhythm called life. Y'all know that. So what's your part? The back and forth is necessary. Ow, I'm loving myself today. Let's get it. Thursday, the moon goes into Libra. This is an interesting day. I got a little bit more to talk about. Hope y'all can stay. If you cannot, catch the recording. I'll post it up here on IG and on YouTube for y'all to watch the whole week. And then leave a comment and click like on the way out. So especially on YouTube, so the algorithm can get it. I appreciate that. On Thursday, the moon in Libra. Now it's a little airy, in the sense that it's about being diplomatic and fair, and justice wants to come on in. There's a bit of charm in the air when it comes to our emotional nature. How to be charming, how to be, did I say diplomatic? Yeah. How to bring our partner in the mix, how to care for other people and balance out time with other folks, whether they are our love partner, whether they are our business partner. It could be anybody, a partner, somebody that you share equal billing with, right? I love when the moon is in Libra in that way. I love Libra energy, by the way, even though it's a square to Cancer. And sometimes Libra energy can get on my nerves because it's real cynical. That's the part that gets on my nerves. It's like, do we have to figure everything out? And do you think everybody is trying to outsmart you? Ain't nobody trying to outsmart you, Libra. Relax yourself. That's the part that gets on my nerves. But the bottom line is Libra energy, like every energy, is necessary. And it's a leader of the intellect. It thinks it's cynical because it thinks it does know it all. It thinks it does have the plan. It's before one up on everybody else on some level. But it's necessary when the moon is in Libra to activate some type of plan, to think about all your options and lay them out on the table. That energy is really, really good for that. On that day, check this out though, there, like there, the way I parlay this thing right here. That moon in Libra, which I just spoke so fondly of. Or Candace said, leave me alone. You cynical ass. That moon in Libra will be trining Pluto in Aquarius, going retrograde. So we in the mud, and here comes the moon in Libra going, is it possible that we did this thing because, I don't know, we are assholes? Is it possible we're reevaluating our transformation and our personal power and how we persuade people? Because possibly, I don't know, maybe we pushed a little too hard. That moon in Libra, if anything, will take an L for itself to get to the real. That's one of the reasons why I like Libra energy too, by the way, Arkansas. You play for the team. You play for the team. So when the moon is in Libra, the emotions are saying, listen, we might have to take an L because we're sitting in this mud and it seems like a pimple or two done fell off. I'm saying this thing might be doing some good to sit where we are and try to figure out what we're doing here. Why all of a sudden I become New York, you know what I mean? Like I'm back home talking to my cousin, Randy, what you doing? You understand? The bottom line is, though, is that Libra moon not only wants to look at the depths of the mud, Pluto going retrograde, wants to look at the depths of the mud. It's saying, how can we figure this thing out? How can we get partners to help us? How can this be fair to us? What do I need to take an L in order to balance this thing out? Keyword balance. Does that make sense? Oh, Seiko is a Libra too. That's right. Y'all do that thing there, like there, like there. I like that about y'all. So check that out on Thursday. Remember that mud situation. Also, that moon in Libra is going to be opposition Venus. Find balance in the emotional need for realistic expression with unseen value. They can exist together. So the moon in Libra, like I said, wants to be fair, find that justice, right? But Venus in Aries is like, spend that money, love harder, love faster, be the best, be confrontational about how you love. Where the moon in Libra is like, yeah, we might want to think about that thing. We might want to feel it out a little bit. We might want to, take a back seat, be a little bit more justice-like. We don't have to go too hard. There's a balance on Thursday between value, between worth, between money, and the emotional need to be fair about the thing. You might have to take an L on Thursday when it comes to your money just to bring order to the bigger picture. You might have to take an L when it comes to you and your partner. Maybe they need to go out of town for 2 or 3 days while you're sitting there jonesing for them. And maybe physically, but more so like in your heart, you're jonesing for them. You might have to take an L and find balance in your partnering that day, Thursday. Because also that moon in Libra sextiles Mars in Leo. Move on what's realistic and surrender to the rest. Do what you can as the human. If you find that balance between your desire and your emotions on Thursday, then you could possibly move to do the thing that feels right for you. That's Mars. You can possibly execute after you find that balance. Because that Aries Venus says it's all about me. I'm going to find the passion. I'm going to find the will. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to find the love. I'm going to spend the money. And I'm going to do what I want to do. But that Libra moon snatched it and was like, hey, think about other people. Think about, what's right for the greater good. Be justice-like. So when you do that, if you can do that, and then Mars comes in the mix and Mars says, you got that? All right, now let's let's move this way. Let's execute. Let's motivate. Let's have sex. Let's do it because Mars is sex. Let's be determined in a different way now that we found the fair plan. Does that make sense? Ooh, y'all, come back. If it does come back on Thursday, I want to know how this plays out for y'all, especially on YouTube. You hit up the comments and let me know. On Friday, that moon stays in Libra. One aspect that I think y'all should be aware of is the moon in Libra will quincunx the sun. It's going to be a really gnarly kind of day. Kind of. So when the moon is in Libra, it's already, as you already know, or may assume, that the emotional nature will already be cerebral, right? Because air signs are cerebral. Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra all lead, or I should say, all operate in the head, in the intellect, in the realistic things of life, what can be seen on the superficial. They're masters at that. However, that energy, that superficial, intellectual, charming energy will seem a little cloudy up against the sun in Taurus that wants to be practical, that wants to be solid. So there's a confusion there. What's practical and what's real? Where should I go? Should I be patient? Should I waylay? Should I fall back and do what I need to do a little bit at a time? Or should I think of another master plan? Should I have my brain and my emotions get all convoluted with one another and figure it out? I mean, my answer is like, just observe the confusion and know that sometimes you don't have to do nothing. Sometimes you don't have to do nothing. And honestly, with the moon in Libra, you can spin out thinking that you're a little indecisive on that day as it quincunx the sun. You can start going back and forth. I should do this. Oh, maybe I should do that. I'm going to call him back and say no. Oh, maybe I should. I mean, 12 o'clock I can go. I don't know. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you find yourself in a real indecisive space on Thursday, just pause for a second. If it's not detrimental, life and death, do you have to make a decision? That's all I'm asking. I mean, that's Friday. My bad, not Thursday. Friday. The moon will quincunx the sun. Don't allow yourself to get too indecisive. Just take a pause for a minute. Ask questions, think about it, move on. All right. Speaking of moving on, I don't know if I want to say all of these gosh darn things for Saturday. We're already an hour, 16 minutes in. I tell you this though, Jack, that moon will start off in Libra on Saturday. And then at 3:58 p.m. on the eastern side of life, the moon will go into Scorpio. Also on Saturday, Mercury goes into Taurus for a little bit of time. When Mercury goes into a sign, I didn't put it down here. I should have, but it's all good. I put a meme out and y'all can save it or whatever. Or you can look it up. How long is Mercury in the sign of Taurus? That'll be what you Google, right? But per Sonja's description, Mercury in Taurus is about practical thought now. Now it's about the brain slowing down long enough to get a viable plan. It's about being trepidatious about the way that you think and at the way that the way you process information. I think that could be welcomed, especially coming out of fast ass Mercury and Aries, where we are now. Go, go, go. Do the thing, do the thing. You know, the head, Mercury, the head can sometimes lead the head of Aries in a wrong area, banging up against the wall. Why? Because Aries energy likes to move fast. So if you have found yourself with Mercury and Aries like slamming into a brick wall every now and again, goddamn, that was wrong. Oh, goddamn, that was wrong. Or maybe I should do it again. That was wrong. Or I called him too fast. He wasn't ready. Or I called her and she left already. Whatever, right? Mercury and Taurus starting on Saturday says take that energy in the brain, allow it to subside a little bit. Let's be a little bit more practical about how we're thinking, about how we are strategizing certain things. Be a little bit more pragmatic, a little bit more Sonja, get the words out. Monetarily astute. Taurus energy loves money, but they can be very, very frugal to be nice. Taurus energy can be very cheap, even though they like money. But you notice though, most rich people are cheap ass motherfuckers because they save their money or they hold on to their coin or they rather get the cheap sheets as opposed to The $5 million thread count sheets. I'm just saying. That's how they hold on to their money. They know how to invest. They know where to put their money. So that's how we're going to begin to think, so to speak, right? With Mercury being in Taurus starting on Saturday. And usually, like I said, it usually lasts for about, if I didn't get this out of my mouth, about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the situation, which is important. Okay, I'm going to say this real briefly. The moon is a little bit more irritation on Saturday, okay? Because the moon is going to quincunx Uranus and the moon is going to quincunx Saturn. I'm going to fly by this, y'all. Irritation surrounding change due to a lack of leaning into discipline and the fear that you discover. Here comes Uranus again. You remember, if you haven't been following or you knew, right? Uranus is doing its thing this week. I'm just saying it does its thing when it does its thing. Again, that back and forth motion to try to get us solid into what it is we are changing into. So we have no question about when it finally changes. Oh, fuck it, I'm here now. I might as well just live in the change. That's how Uranus does it, to the point where you have no other choice. Well, Saturday's little incarnation of Uranus's back and forth becomes a little cloudy again and irritated because it's sitting there with Saturn. And it's saying, yo, these changes that's going back and forth, these innovations, these rebellious thoughts and these new things and surprises that want to come up in your life, there's some slight irritation and cloudiness because you don't see that you got to keep up the disciplines with it. Remember last week or last month when you said, in order for me to do my best in this particular job, in this situation, I got to work out every day. In order for me to get pregnant, I'm going to have to eat X, Y, and Z. Saturn comes in here with this little irritation on Saturday and says, we can skip that workout. We don't have to be disciplined. We don't have to know the lesson about that thing. I'm just saying, watch out for it. Our confusion comes along with us not knowing how to implement our disciplines, our rituals when it comes to our changes. Also, fear can creep in there, trying to talk you out of what it is you need to do in order to change your life. Maybe that's why Spirit had me coming in so hot today, with the fact that it's like, we don't have time to be emotional about these changes that are happening. They are happening. And a lot of other things in the universe, i.e. Saturn, is dependent on it. Because Saturn brings up the fear. Saturn brings up the rewards that come from after you working so hard. Don't you want that reward, cuz? Don't you want that reward? Am I talking to myself? Don't you want the reward? So Saturn says, don't get confused by the rituals you got to stick on, the weight that you got to lose, the people that you said you wasn't going to talk to, the kind of crowd you said you wasn't going to be around because I can't deal with them no more. The procrastination. You get that? We don't have time for none of that. Stay on your discipline. Okay. Saturn also, last thing I'm going to say, because I'm not going through all this. Saturn is a foggy day because the sun is quincunx in Neptune too. So that brings even more fog in there. Woo, Neptune is about all the things that you can't touch, the intangible, right? So there's confusion with the intangible, the things you can't even see. How you confused about something you can't even see? That makes me laugh. Goddamn humans. How are we confused about something we can't even see? Easily, huh? I heard somebody just say, easily. I could be confused about shit I can't see because I don't know it's there. That's for sure. That's Saturday. Or we can put another pair of glasses on. We can look through a different lens and say, it's like I was telling my girlfriend the other day, why can't we get excited about the shit that we can't see? What happened when we was like 23, 25? And I know we're not that any longer, not unless y'all on here, 25-year-olds looking cute with a cute ass body. We're not 23, 25-year-old, whatever. The point is when experience set in, you stop thinking of life and its changes and its choices and these mud baths and all these things as exciting. When we was younger, it was like, oh, another challenge. I could do that. I could do that. I could move across the country. I can have another boyfriend. Kick rocks. See you later. I could do this. My heart's not broken. Then over time, it's like, ooh. But again, the perspective, in my opinion, needs to change on some level about the things that we can't see. Because number one, don't you have faith in your people? That's a freaking question. Y'all better talk to me today. I'm being a bully. That's a question. You don't have faith in your people? You don't have faith in your grandmama, your grandfather, your mother and your father over there, your favorite auntie with the red dress that always gives you a piece of candy when you come over our house? These are the folks that's on the other side. You don't have faith in them? So if you can't muster up the excitement, can you at least be like, "Ooh, okay, auntie, I know you got me because you know I don't like this car. Okay, auntie, I know you got me because this house is falling apart." Somebody over there, I'm going to try to smile through this thing because y'all know exactly what's in my bank account. I'm just saying. Come on, y'all. I'm human too. I'm human too. I'm not a hologram. Oh Lord. So we gotta kind of like the fogginess just a little bit because it brings a semblance of adventure. Like I have no idea where I'm headed, off into the fog, like Humphrey Bogart, walking down the street, not knowing if a cab's gonna hit me or if I'm gonna find my love. Talking about some black and white movie, Casablanca. Anyway, the bottom line is try to look at it with a different lens, y'all, and be excited about where we're going, where you can't see. On Saturday, last thing I'm gonna say about Saturday, we're moving to Sunday, and then we'll be done. Rob said, "Wait, what? You're not an illusion?" No, I'm real. I'm real. I'm so real. I'm a hologram. Rob. Saturday. The last thing I'm gonna say about that is the moon will square up the mud one more time. Pluto going retrograde. So we feel this powerlessness. Oh, well, I'm gonna read what I wrote. Powerlessness doesn't have to lead to possession, revenge, and or emotional control. Yes, because that moon will be Scorpio. Being Scorpio at that time, that's the emotional control that I'm talking about. And it's going up against Pluto, going retrograde, right? Remember, Pluto's going retrograde until October 13th. So we have to sit in this mud, seeing ourselves, looking in the mirror. Who am I? What am I? Please come up so you can get the fuck up out and stop being in my life. I don't want you anymore. That's why we're looking in the mirror in this mud. On Saturday, with that moon square in that mud, it could kind of like, nudge us a little bit and feel like we're out of control. Scorpio energy, the moon being in Scorpio that day going up against Pluto retrograde. Scorpio is one of the most controlling signs of the zodiac, Capricorn being the other. Scorpio loves to control. And it kind of thinks that it doesn't because it comes with an emotional gaze or guise, but it does. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. In a way in which Scorpio controls the feeling, wants to control the feeling or the response that it's getting out. So the other, let me give you a good example. This is a really good example. Scorpio will present to you 3 different restaurants in which they would like to go to. And because you pick one of those 3, they won't be mad. But it looks like they gave you the choice. Any Scorpios out there I just outed you on? Does that make sense to anybody? In some way, they're in control because they like them 3 restaurants. So they gave you the choice of the 3. Does that make sense? That's a Scorpio kind of control because it doesn't want to feel powerless. That makes sense? So that powerless feeling can come up on us Saturday evening as it's going against this mud. I feel powerless in this mud. I've been looking in the mirror all week long. And when I meet Sonja, I'm just going to shank her. Please don't. I just said that violent mode for a minute or name or whatever. Cancel, delete. When I meet Sonja, I'm going to be mad because This whole week looking in the mirror, on Saturday, you may see somebody you don't want to see. And you may feel a little bit powerless. You may feel like, I don't know why I did that exercise, why I'm looking in the mirror, why I'm sitting in this gosh darn mud, why I'm doing these things, because I'm out of control now. Y'all get that? That makes sense? Somebody say, yes, I'm married to a Scorpio, and my argument is you cannot tell me how to feel. That Scorpio will tell you, I know how you feel. No, you don't. You deep as shit. I get you deep, but you don't know me, sir, ma'am. Okay. On Sunday, last day, the moon stays in Scorpio. Happy Mother's Day, by the way, out there to all the beautiful mamas, even the mamas to be, those that are pregnant in this moment, those are about to have a child in the next year or 2 or 5, those that can't have children and have nieces and nephews, those that don't want kids, and you have a motherly way about you. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. On that day, it's going to be an interesting Mother's Day is all I'm going to say. And I just want to say one thing, okay? This is my Mother's Day gift to you. Give the mothers what they want. No argument. That's every Mother's Day, okay? By the freaking way. However, Sunday, you should really do that thing there, though. That thing there, though. Please and very please. Why? Because the moon in Scorpio is square Mars, y'all. Yeah. Ay, caramba. Adios míos. Mon Dieu. All the fucking goddamn languages. Yeah. So the moon is emotions, emotional reactions, feelings, expressions, but the moon is also the mama, along with Venus, which is women. But the moon is the mama. Okay? So if the moon is in Scorpio on Mother's Day, the mamas are going to feel like they want to be in control. Y'all get my science? Y'all get my understanding? And very emotional and want to be deep and probably want to bring up some shit from the past and possibly want to talk about your father. I was going to say your deadbeat father, but not everybody's father is deadbeat. Possibly want to talk about some shit, rehash some things, go deep, or maybe don't want to talk at all. Maybe they want to be by themselves. All I'm saying is tell the mamas they can do whatever they want to do. Follow that lead on that day because it squares up Mars. So if you piss them off, they'll react. The moon is squaring, which is a conflict, challenge, right? With Mars, anger, confrontation, sex, determination, motivation, movement. That doesn't make for a good Mother's Day. I'm just saying, generally speaking, now unless it's a house full of Scorpios and y'all all find your own corner and y'all do whatever the heck y'all want to do that day. I'm just saying. Walk lightly on that day. Any questions? Any questions? Listen, I hope this rundown, this is one of the few I think I'm going to sit back and watch myself because sometimes I get a little entertained by me. And I will be laying in my bed, y'all, going, this chick is crazy. Who is she? If you on YouTube, hit that like button. I'd appreciate it. If this information resonates with you, we're going to pick a card and then we're going to get on out of here. I'll wait for a few questions if you want to come up with them. And listen, if you have personal questions, get a reading. Please get a reading. And not because, just get a reading. Because that's when, I love doing readings, y'all. I swear, I think I'm going to do them till I die. And I mean that. I could be a super duper duper star playing on all the stages in the world. And I'll be like, hey, on Zoom, giving y'all readings because it's a connection that I feel that comes through me and through them and the transformation that I see on people within minutes. I know it ain't Sonja because I'm just a human. God be working on y'all through the whole transaction thing. So get a reading. Wordlifeastrology.com/readings. If you want to know the personal situations, in regards to the chart. But I hope this information, generally speaking, helps you as well. I really, 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 really do. It's the reason why I've been coming on here for about 10 years or so. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really, really mean that. And I pray for y'all. Please know that. I really, really do. In my morning prayers, I send light out to the village. I send light out to all those that follow, that support. I even call out names that I remember on the nice little thread here. Nia's on here, or Kansas, like I said. Theodosia, that's my homie from from Yonkers. What's up, Theodosia? Rabbi Rob, I pray for. Who's Pretty Social TV? Who that is? Who that is? You said it sounded like a perfect Mother's Day gift. Let them do what they want to do. That's the gift right there. Keena, how you doing? All right. Great Mother, Father God, and all of our angels and ancestors, spirits, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Gabriel, to solidify exactly what it is that we are walking through and into this week. Guide us lovingly as we follow the message that speaks to us all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope what I say. It came out like smooth butter. Ooh, when the vibrations get going, y'all, it's crazy. Okay, no questions. I don't see no questions. Keena said, I'm coming back up and out, sis. I got some catching up to do. Yes, that's my fellow astrologer, right? We need you, honey. Come back up. YO is in the building, Theodosia. One Glen without this motherfucker. All right, you want to know what the card is? We need you, Keena. Come on now. Come on, do that thing. That's Keena the Sag, right? Am I right? I remember people's signs before I remember your name. Please don't ever get offended by that. Please, please, please don't ever get offended by that. I am so weird like that. I will meet you, have a whole conversation with you, talk about your grandmother and your grandfather on the other side, see you 2 weeks later and be like, Scorpio, right? I forgot your name though. I'm so crazy. Crazy. Oh, Scorpio. Yes, Keena. And I said Scorpio right out my mouth as you put up Scorpio. Ain't that something? That's crazy. Keena. Yes, Keena. Now I see you now. I see you in my head. All right, I thought you were somebody else. Up with Keena at 11. Damn it, Sonja. Please blame it on the premenopause. Wendell, you got a question, honey? When you don't know the time of day you were born, they say you can only know your sun sign info. Is everything else out the window? No. Actually, I said this a little bit before. So thank you for asking that question for yourself and anybody else. Astrologers usually, so here's the real story, is that we usually record our time of birth on our birth certificates. So you can look on your birth certificate to see if it's on there. If it's not on there, which is highly the case because there's some small towns that don't record time of birth. And I was telling my friend too, sometimes I think them nurses be drunk or be like, I don't know, just guessing shit and be like, what time was they born? I think it was 12:30, girl. Just put 1:30. I think it came 1:30 when we came after lunch or something like that. They guessing your time of birth, not knowing 50 years later you want to get an astrology reading. So the bottom line is this. Most astrologers will use either 12 noon window or 12 midnight because it's considered the middle of the day, right? So you're never really out. It's not everything is thrown out the window. What you cannot read for most astrologers is your rising sign, because your rising sign is dictated by the time of birth. It changes the sign. It does. The rising sign, ascendant sign, changes every 2 hours, not 2.5, every 2 hours. Okay, so it's very specific, right? But if you go with your girl over here, because they talk to me and because I can see, and I love astrology in the way that I study people all day and night. Sometimes I can pick up on your rising sign based on how you move and how you approach, and we can narrow it down. So there's the answer to that. All right. All right, here, y'all ready for this card? How they do in space? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Transform. Didn't I say that shit came out all nice and smooth like butter? It says, come on out. This is what we doing. Because why? We sitting in the gosh darn mud. Hello? Did we not say we was just sitting in the mud? I love the hearts and the 100s coming up. I know y'all are with me on this thing. This is the week. Where the surprises coming from, where the miracles coming from, where the transformation coming from. And it has to start inside. You waiting for somebody to show up at your door and tell you fine? You got $1 million? You won the lottery? No, you got to go to the store and get the ticket, first of all. But second of all, you got to change. And most importantly, probably first of all, you got to change what's going on inside yourself in order to transform to get that miracle. Stop playing with God. Stop playing with God. I need you to stop playing with God. You better stop playing with God. I need you to stop playing with God. Oh, I need to stop playing with God. Please, and very please. Here we go. The central figure in this card sits atop the vast flower of the void and holds the symbols of transformation. The sword that cuts through illusion, the snake that rejuvenates itself by shedding its skin, the broken chain of limitations, and the yin-yang symbol of transcending duality. One of its hands rests on the lap, open and receptive. The other reaches down to touch the mouth of a sleeping face, symbolizing the silence that comes when we are at rest. This week, y'all, this is a time for a deep let go in the mud. Allow any pain, sorrow, or difficulty just to be there, accepting its faculties. It is very much like the experience of Gautam Buddha, when after years of seeking, he finally gave up knowing that there was nothing more that he could do. That very night, he became enlightened. Transformation comes like death in its own time. And like death, it takes you from one dimension into another. Ashe, amen, aho, wetakwe ase. Asheo, come on now. Come on now. Do I need to say any more? Do I need to add some more poetry to this situation here? Are we not talking about the mud and that transformation? Are you not going to be responsible for that thing there? I'm just saying. If it ain't time, it's time. If it wasn't time, it's time. Received, Arkansas. Thank you. What up, Keena? Now I recognize the picture. Did you change the picture? Sonja is crazy. I hope that landed for y'all. I really, really do. Ashe, Raisa, I love you. I really, really hope that landed in a way in which you didn't even expect. Going against that fixed energy, eh? You deserve this transformation. You deserve sitting and being with yourself. You deserve any, like it said, any sorrow to come up, anything, and recognize it, that it has to go. Because we can't take it. And I don't want to sound like a broken record because I've said these things 1,000 times. And sometimes I feel it just falls like being over freaking spiritual and it just loses its weight a little bit the more you say it. But it's real, some simplistic truth in it. Y'all got to start from the inside of all the things. And you can't complain if you're not doing that. It makes no sense to complain anyway. But what are you really saying? if you're not doing all that you can do within yourself and for yourself, I'm going to get up off this thing. I think I talked enough. I hope everything is well with you in your world. And I hope this week is fabulous for you as you sit in that mud, y'all, and get it all on the pimples, on the booty, on the sides, massage it out, and come up alive, ready to be somebody different, better, your highest, bestest self. I mean that with everything in me. I'm praying for you. I love you. And I know you got this. We are a village. We are a community. Whether we know each other or not, or ever touch each other, we got each other. I know y'all know that. Act like it. Let's do that thing now. I see y'all at the Del Monte Speakeasy, June 1st, July 6th, August 10th. You come and see me? All right. Talk to you later. Peace, everybody.